the mirror. That life is like a magazine, and I live in the fiction. And you compare so much to them, it's hard, I know. But when you are around me, it feels so nice. I count all the times that your eyes follow mine, and you follow blind until your heart still mine. And I'll define, putting my pride aside. If you put your love on the line, so alive. Doubting us is one thing, leaving us is two things. You didn't have time for us to start, oh no. And every beginning seems to come to an end. One time I try, it falls apart again. One time is all I get now. Days I know you're not what I wish for now. You're something out of a fantasy, escape to mine. And I don't wanna fall in love, but I'll be fine. Maybe it was one thing, maybe it was two things. Maybe it's in the way that you look at me. 'Cause I spent my whole weekend figuring that you're meant to, and I don't wanna be there to hurt no more. And I count all the times that your eyes follow mine, and you follow blind until your heart still mine. And I'll define, putting my pride aside. If you put your love on the line, so alive. I'm scared of trying, I'm scared it might end. I hate the feeling when you're out of love. In love, in love, in love. When you're out of love. In love, in love, in love. I just hope you, I just hope you, I just hope you feel what I feel. I count all the times that your eyes follow mine. You follow blind until your heart still mine. I'll define, putting my pride aside. Put your love on the line, so alive. Maybe it was one thing, maybe it was two things. Maybe it's in the way that you look at me. 'Cause I spent my whole weekend figuring that you're meant to, and I don't wanna be there to hurt no more. Skinny Asian counters, face photos of the mirror. That life is like a magazine, and I live in the fiction. And you compare so much to them, it's hard, I know. But when you are around me, it feels so nice. I count all the times that your eyes follow.
Hello and welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your co-host Reynoso, here with my boy
Soltero. What's up, guys?
Brazil. You're in trouble today. You're in trouble today. Come over here. I want to talk to you, folks. What did you think about this Brazil versus Costa Rica match? Because honestly, bro, Brazil just got CONCACAF. As my boy says in the chat, Brazil just got CONCACAF by a Costa Rican defensive, dare I say, masterclass, shutting the Brazilians down at SoFi Stadium and getting a 0-0 result.
I honestly can't believe it. Los Ticos once again proving that the CONCACAF region can still pull off a miracle. And of course, it's Costa Rica, bro.
Of course.
They have a history of doing this. I shouldn't be surprised at this point because we've seen it time and time again with this Costa Rican side, but I just didn't think... I honestly did not believe, but I was dead wrong. 0-0 is how this game ends. This feels like Costa Rica just got 6 points. You know what I mean?
Dude, for real,
this is
for real.
crazy. I can't believe it. Neymar was in the stands just looking distraught and frustrated. Brazil's mentality as the game wore on was so poor, just constantly bickering at the ref, bickering at themselves, not really knowing what to do, who to give the ball to, because no matter if you give it to Vinicius, if you're giving it to Rafinha, if you have Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield, or Paquetá, it's terrible today. No Brazilian really took it to Costa Rica, and the chemistry was all wrong for Brazil in this match.
Completely wrong, man. Dorival Jr. looking like Dorito Jr. on the side, looking helpless, man. Didn't know what to do. And no matter who he brought on, outside of maybe Savinho, there really wasn't any player that could have an impact on this game for Brazil. I just can't believe it, man. Brazil looks bad, man. They look bad. Guys, what the hell is going on with Brazil? Let me know in the chat because I want to read some of y'all's comments. What is going on? Why are they playing like this? The talent is just too good. Even Vini Jr. and Rodrigo, the way they play once they put on a yellow shaded kit is completely different from that royal white that they wear for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
What is going on, bro?
I don't know. I mean, if I'm scouting this game, first thing I'm looking at, though, is I'm signing Jalen Mitchell and Hugo Quiros at that right center back and right back position because they shut down Vinicius.
I mean, that's on the resume now.
It's ridiculous how well they defended the wings, but that is a good point, though, because the Brazilian wings were non-existent today. I mean, sure, they got on the ball a lot. Brazil did have over 80% of possession, but I mean, the few times that they were able to get past the initial right back or left back defense of Costa Rica, they were met with either an oncoming midfielder or an oncoming center back. And most of the time, Costa Rica were able to keep it out. So I don't know. I think it was too individual from Brazil today. Because when Vinicius and Rodrigo did get on the ball, they tried to do too much, man. Like, they got to use the midfield. The midfield has to come up. Paquetá has to be better. I know he hit the post today and he had that one good shot. But other than that, man, his passes were completely off, and we got nothing from João Gomes, and honestly, we got nothing from Bruno Guimaraes going forward. So it really was just the front three trying to do everything on their own.
Crazy, man, crazy. I actually have a fun question here. Does prime Costa Rica, 2014 Costa Rica, beat this Brazilian side?
Oh, easily.
They smash them?
They would win at least like 2-0. They'd keep the clean sheet, and they'd get at least a goal or two.
That's the frustrating part, is that if Costa Rica had just a little bit more to give, they probably could have gotten 3 points in this game, man.
Dude, what I was thinking is if you could just combine Costa Rica's back line with Panama's offense, you'd have the best team ever in Central America. If you could just, if you could combine the Central American teams, man, you could get something really special. But yeah, ultimately, Costa Rica had nothing going forward. Let's be honest about that. They made it interesting at times. They had a good second half. They were a little bit more courageous. Joel Campbell, doing his usual thing, using his body perfectly. Beautiful little cameo from him. And overall, I thought Costa Rica played just a really good game plan today. And let's actually analyze it a little bit because I thought it was really interesting. They played so deep. The back three, JP Vargas, Francisco Calvo, and Jalen Mitchell, played so deep. They were right in front of Sequeira, the Costa Rica goalkeeper, but it worked because their midfield ended up being like basically the center backs. They did all the defending, and the three center backs were just there to keep out any crosses, and it worked perfectly. Yes, it was the definition of parking the bus, but it was played to perfection.
Yeah, to perfection, man. And it's crazy because I think ultimately this game would have been perfectly set up for a guy like Neymar to break that defense.
Yeah.
And it's fitting that we got to see camera shots, camera angles of Neymar actually showing frustration, man. He didn't look professional up there. You could see his frustration after every missed attempt for this Brazilian team with how helpless they looked. I think Neymar would have been the key difference maker for this Brazilian squad against this low block of Costa Rica. But, I mean, props to Costa Rica. They had an incredible performance, and their goalkeeper, I don't remember, what was his name?
Sequeira.
He's good, man.
He's incredible.
He has to be, like, part of, like, the Keylor Navas, like, youth academy or something, bro. That guy was amazing. And honestly, overall, I thought of all the performances we've seen so far in the Copa America, I think there really haven't been many teams that have gotten a grade of A+, where they put in their best performance, where they max themselves out. I think it's crazy, but I actually do think Costa Rica is the only team that in their first game put in an A+ performance, given the context of what people expected from them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is the first real shock result of the Copa America. It took till the last day of group action, but I mean, I cannot believe they pulled it off. I agree, this is an A+ performance. They did not step a foot wrong, but they almost did with that crazy almost own goal. That was
Don't
nuts.
play with me, man.
But it's Takeda once again showing up with a crazy reaction save that keeps Costa Rica alive, and the game ends 0-0 because of that, and a more plethora of saves from Takeda in general.
Which brings me to my next question. What grade do you guys give this Brazilian performance? What is it? Is this an F? Is this a D+, C+, B-? What grade, chat? Let me know in the chat while we read some super chats that we've gotten. What grade do you give this Brazilian performance? Because I think Costa Rica put in an A+ performance.
Yeah.
B-Vart says, give us Brazil, not Paraguay, Colombia, or Costa Rica. I think he means in regards to the USA. I think this is massive now, man. I think this Brazilian team gets beat by the USA.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
They get beat by the USA. Mateo Pegasus says, I exit VIX to let you know that Ronaldinho was right. I mean, Ronaldinho, man. Ronaldinho, bro. Now I'm starting to wonder if I should have joined him too and not watching this Brazilian team, man. I know he took it back eventually, but bro, Ronaldinho might have been onto something, man, because this team looks like nothing from the teams we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Hus Jaber says, watching Brazil is so frustrating. They're trying to adopt the European play style and system based, but they forgot their identity and own flavor. I think I can actually agree with that, man. This team does look like they're trying to figure out what their identity is, and they just don't know.
And what's funny is that the most Brazilian-looking guy, Savinho, for me was the best player once he came on. But the thing is, he only had 10 minutes.
Yep.
And that's what I want to criticize right now. Dorival Jr., kind of like Southgate, bro. He took way too long to bring on some subs, man. Like, at halftime, he should have brought on Endrick and Savinho. It was clear Brazil were struggling the entire first half. Changes should have been made, but he waited till like the 65th minute, and then he even waited longer to bring on Martinelli in the 85th. So it's just like questionable decisions, I think, from Junior.
I want to know, chat, who do you think was the worst player for Brazil today? Because for me, man, I hated Rafinha's performance, man. I just don't like watching Rafinha in general, man. I think he does have some good moments. He caught fire in the Champions League knockout stages, but man, the rest of the time, that dude is struggling to have an impact on the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Savio got minutes and showcased himself today. I wonder if he can get the starting nod over Rafinha in the next match, because he was good. I thought Savinho was good, but who was the worst player? People are saying Vini. People are saying Vini with how he had to get subbed out around the 60th minute. Arana, the fullback. Rafinha is so overrated, says Gengar. Vini getting shots. I mean, the thing with Vini is that you expect him to be much better.
You do.
Yeah.
You really do. And that's why I'm disappointed. And I want to highlight the defense of Costa Rica, because for the most part, man, they really did shut him down. It's incredible. But it's very disappointing if you're Vinicius, because you're touted as one of the best players at this tournament, period. And it just simply did not look like it.
It's just crazy hearing the sentence, Costa Rica shut down Vini, bro.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, no disrespect. These are Costa Rican ranchers. These are ranchers, bro. And they shut down Vini. Shout out to them, man. Let's look at some more super chats, because the chat is very active. We have Wilson Fung saying, as a Costa Rican, and he sends us Costa Rican currency here, man.
Go, Wilson.
It's the first. I'm really surprised with today's result, but I'll take it. Let's go, Los Ticos. Greetings from Costa Rica. You guys are the best. Thank you, Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you, Wilson.
I wear this jersey for you, my friend. I wear it for you. Congratulations on an incredible result. Like Soltero says, it feels like you guys got 6 points today. Hus Jaber says Iraq would have beat Brazil today. No cap. Once again,
I agree.
man.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll go with it. Starless Sign 28 says Brazil are in fraud watch 100%. I agree, man, because this is the type of performance where I'm like, what are we going to see the rest of the Copa America, man? What if it happens again against Paraguay or against Colombia? Like, dude, do they get grouped?
You know what's funny?
Or is that too crazy?
No, you know what's funny is that, so in 2014, Brazil had that very dramatic exit to the World Cup, right? Losing 7-1 to Germany. In 2016, they got grouped at the Copa America in the United States. 2022 FIFA World Cup, they have a dramatic exit to Croatia where they should have gone to the final. And now they start off with a draw against Costa Rica.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying history repeats itself, but I mean, maybe.
But I think it shifts the conversation over to, yesterday I talked about how it doesn't really matter who gets first or second in Group C between the USA and Uruguay. If Brazil doesn't end up getting second, bro, that matters so much now. who gets first place in Group C. The U.S. has to get that because then you can get Paraguay or you get Costa Rica.
Exactly. And,
man.
I mean, anything to avoid Colombia at this point, knowing that Brazil and everyone else are clearly non-favorites versus Colombia.
Yeah, I think most people agree. Alex Escobar says, no, I want Brazil to face USA in the quarterfinals. I mean, imagine the scenes. Yeah. Imagine the scenes if you guys beat this Brazilian team. Even if they're not their best side right now, it would just look crazy on paper. USA defeats Brazil. It would say so much to the world right there. Let's look at some more super chats, the ones we have left before we continue on to our conversation. We have Eddie Fifi saying, Brazil was so indisciplined in front of the goal today in this squad. And this squad doesn't have a pure experienced number 9. They've been looking for that for a while, bro. They've looked for it with Gabriel Jesus, with Richarlison, and now Endrick. They just don't have it, though. They have experienced wingers, and they have really good wingers, but a number 9 up top that can match the heights of, Ronaldo and the players that they've had, it's just not there, man. I think they've been looking for it for a while, bro, because I remember when Fred was supposed to be that guy, man, in 2014.
No, I know. And that's the thing, is that Fred ended up being that guy, and I that's kind of a bad sign if Fred was your guy at the time. So Brazil have struggled in the number 9 position for a very long time.
Metel Pegasus says this Brazil team was Alisson and 10 2014 Freds. Hey, Fred making an appearance right after we talked about him. Shout out Mateo Pegasus. Debatable Football Opinions sending us a super chat. Thank you, my brother. And I like how he stayed silent because he's an Argentina fan. You don't got to say much. You don't got to say much right now. If anything, I just keep quiet and let this Brazil downfall happen upon us. Oh, there he is. Brazil, díceme que se siente. How does it feel? How does it feel, Brazil? God, these Argentines must be on top of the world right now, man. What I would give to go on Ancestry.com and find out I'm 10% Argentine, bro. What I would give, man. Ay, ay, ay. FIFA Rig says, invite Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and Uruguay to the Gold Cup. At this point, bro, fuck it, man. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
And just in general, I think the Copa America should always be CONCACAF and CONMEBOL going forward. It's clearly the better product.
Gilberto Godinez says all talent and low coach versus low talent and high coach. What do you think about Costa Rica's coach today and his performance with how he set up his team for success?
No, it's the analysis I made earlier. The way he parked this bus was perfect. It really was. Low block of center backs, using the midfield to actually do all of the defending, and then the center backs just clear anything that gets past that initial midfield block. So it's really good. I mean, it means no offense, though. I guess that's a major criticism. How are Costa Rica realistically going to get goals? I have no idea.
Do they get goals in this tournament?
Do they get goals, or do they just get 3 draws in a row? That'd be kind of crazy.
That's football heritage right there, man. That's football heritage. Ghostface Quan says, send Mitchell to Barca ASAP so he can clamp Vini, man. Imagine.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Imagine, bro.
He's 19, by the way.
And he only plays in
good.
Dude, only 19?
He's 19.
Wow. Yeah. Costa Rica's got something going on for them. Folks, I want to know, what did you guys think about SoFi Stadium today? Because I want to talk about SoFi Stadium real quick. MetLife Stadium has been selected as the World Cup venue for the final, and the Hard Rock Stadium was selected for Copa America's final.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about SoFi Stadium? Because I'm going to be honest, if we're leaving the Azteca out of the conversation, just USA specifically, I think SoFi Stadium should be hosting every final, man.
Oh, dude,
it looked amazing.
SoFi was incredible, man. I mean, it's always been like this. You see an NFL game, you see a Gold Cup game, wherever. Anytime there's an event at SoFi, it looks immaculate, bro. And it just reminded me, I was like, damn, can't believe the World Cup Finals not going to be in LA. But hey, New York's another big city to have it in, but just SoFi is one of the best stadiums in the world. Yeah,
Bobby says SoFi is looking good. Alex Escobar says SoFi clears. SoFi deserves a semi, says Awesome Reach 94. LA does it right, baby, says Adam Martinez. Chris Vergara, the fact that SoFi didn't get chosen for either final is insane. I agree, bro.
Man.
Not one final, man. Not one final. I heard the dimensions were slightly off, says Daniel Carrasco.
I mean, the thing is, I heard that too, but
is that it?
But they could have fixed it. But there was like contention between the executives of SoFi and FIFA, right? There's just, they couldn't come to some weird agreement.
That's so bizarre to me, man. I don't know, man. That's so bizarre to me. So, folks, then where do you project Brazil goes in this tournament now? I want to know where you guys stand on this, because we just got our first indication for Brazil. And before we shift the conversation over to Colombia, Paraguay, I want to get your final take on Brazil. I mean, do they still go to semifinals? Do they still get out of this group? Do they still go to the final? Or is this a team that low-key is destined to get kicked out in the quarterfinals against perhaps the USA, maybe Uruguay?
I say Brazil get knocked out in the quarters. I'm hoping it'll be the USA who does it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down for the Brazilian downfall, bro.
Feeling really good about it too.
I'm down for the Brown. It looks like a lot of people are saying quarterfinal exits. One person says champions. Sometimes I think we all agree is that this generation of players, European or American, are not even close to Messi and Ronaldo. Sad day when they retire. I don't know what he's talking about. I read the wrong chat. Group stage exit says Brandon. Quarterfinal says Ramos. They'll lose in the semifinal says Gerardo.
Group stage is crazy. I mean, because if you
man.
consider Paraguay do play Brazil next, and we'll get to it in a bit, but Paraguay had a decent game against Colombia. If they can play a similar way, maybe they get something in their next match against Brazil. So, yeah, Brazil getting grouped is surprisingly, maybe doable now.
Oh, man, I'm smoking that Brazil pack, dude. If they get grouped, bro, it'd be one of the craziest things, man. It'd be one of the craziest things.
It'd be crazy, man.
Debatable Football Opinion says he's eager to see that exit happen. This group stage exit will slap. Oh, man, I can't wait to see, because either they end up disappointing and continuing this line of negative performances, or they bounce back and they wake up.
Wake up. I think changes have to be made. Savinho has to start the next game. If he plays a full 90, Brazil are going to get a goal. Let's be completely honest. Vinicius has to look himself in the mirror and be like, I'm Ballon d'Or material. What the fuck am I doing? And then he's going to get a goal. So realistically, if you're being serious,
I don't know, man.
if you're being real
I
here,
don't know.
Brazil have to bounce back. If they don't, this will be one of the most disastrous Copas in Brazilian history.
I don't know, but this feels like the America's version of like England, man. It really does. There's just so much media pressure. Brazil's performance in the World Cup qualification has been really bad so far. I think there's an element of the players just being in their heads, man, and just feeling that pressure, not having that experience and showcasing that in the biggest stage, because what we saw today was ultimately that, man. And it's crazy. It's just crazy. But they do have the talent to just bounce back immediately.
Low key, though, fuck the Brazilian Federation, because what are they doing with the coaching situation, man? Like, what are they doing? Ever since Chiche left after the World Cup, they knew that was going to happen, right? He was vocal about, I'm done after the World Cup. And then they just have done interim managers since then. It's been a year and a half. Dorival Jr. just got signed on after Diniz didn't work out as an interim. It's been 6 months. But this is what Brazil always do, man. This is what they always do. We saw this in 2010, and they just kind of got lucky that Chiche worked out. Like, this is also on them for not having a tactical guy in mind. They just picked Dorival because he was, good at club level in Brazil. But that's what they always do, man. So I don't know. I just think it's bad mistakes. This is on a lot of Brazilians, not just the players.
Remember when Carlo Ancelotti was supposed to have the job?
That's what I'm saying.
You remember that?
Why not get a good manager? It doesn't have to be Brazilian.
And here's another question. Let's say Neymar's healthy. Does he save this team? Does Neymar actually save this team from what we're seeing right now?
I mean, I would say yes, just because Neymar, when he is fully fit and healthy, he is a difference maker, And you kind of mentioned it earlier. This game was begging for a player like Neymar to just take it, dribble past 3 players, and get an assist or score a banger. Neymar's had a history of doing that, game in, game out. So I do think Neymar would have changed this result.
Yeah. Man, I just miss him. I miss Neymar, man. I miss him. I saw him play poker the other day. That's what I'm resorting to regarding Neymar now.
Yeah.
Playing poker with Ryan Garcia and fucking Jimmy Butler instead of seeing him cook on the pitch, dude.
I wish he was here, man.
I know,
really
man.
do. Because, realistically, he might not be at another Copa. So it's a missed opportunity, especially that it's in the States too.
Michael says Neymar can't crack that Tico's low block. Javier Ramirez says I need my 90 minutes back. You're not getting those 90 minutes back, bro. You're not getting it. Danny123 says I miss Neymar. And Debatable Football Opinion says if Brazil and Vini have a horrible Copa, does Vini's Ballon d'Or campaign take a huge hit, or is it not a biggie? That's a good question, because we mentioned he should probably go to the semis of this tournament to still be considered in that Ballon d'Or conversation. But, looking over at the Euros, if Toni Kroos ends up lifting it with Germany,
man, right.
Maybe he has a shout for it. Florian Wirtz, maybe he has a shout for it. Germany goes off.
If England somehow fix their woes and Bellingham goes all the way to a semifinal and Brazil, lose in the quarters, I definitely think it does hurt his contention for the Ballon d'Or.
Mbappe with France stepping up. I think it depends a lot on what happens in the Euro specifically. But, they have to make semifinals. Brazil has to make semifinals, in my opinion, for Vini to still be considered for the Ballon d'Or title.
Agreed.
100%. Let's look at some super chats before we talk about Colombia. Colombia talk is coming up next. Let's just look at some super chats. Hus Jaber saying, Still not out on Brazil. First game jitters happens.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. I agree. It's
could
not
be that.
done yet, but a second poor game will definitely be the death of Brazil.
The death of Brazil. That sounds crazy. Alejandro Tiburcio says Colombia is winning everything versus Uruguay. Colombia is winning everything. Colombia versus Uruguay final, please. Ooh.
Dude, I really do wish the brackets were a little more even.
Yeah.
I really do, man. Because the right-hand side, Group C and D, is so stacked. Unfortunately, we can't get a Colombia-Uruguay final. It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, that would have fed generations, as they say on Twitter. Would have fed generations. Bevart saying Mexico the only ones to lose to Brazil. Just saying. Wow. I was doing just fine, bro.
We can move on.
I was doing just fine. What the hell do I got to take that shit for, man? I'm trying to host a show. Carlos Viña says NFL field size trapped Brazil. So the dimensions coming into play.
It is interesting. But I also think it's just the tactics of Costa Rica that actually trapped Brazil more so than the pitch.
I think so. The phenomenal one sends us a super chat. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Meteo Pegasus says the worst part of this Brazil team is I'm supposed to watch them here in Vegas, and we might not even see any goals or samba. Damn. He bought tickets. We've been hearing that they're pricey.
Yeah.
You want to go see the Brazilian team. You want to see Vini. You want to see Rodrigo. You want to see Dorival Jr. lead his team and to dance all over the pitch. And instead, you're going to get...
maybe another 0-0 or... I wonder who's playing in Vegas. So if it's Colombia, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you get to see Colombia play instead.
I hope, man. I would hope that if I'm Mateo, man. That's definitely a big factor. The phenomenal one says Mexico will get third in the Copa. Viva León. So he's a León fan.
Shout out León, baby.
Yeah, you're a León fan. Third in the Copa is crazy, bro.
Third in the Copa is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I'm be honest with you. That's crazy. But hey, I also believe though. I'm with you. Fuck it. Let's get the third place position. Let's go to the final at this point. Let's go to the final, man, if we make it to the semifinal. Let's talk about Colombia, guys. Let me know, what did you think about Colombia versus Paraguay? Because putting the Brazilian disaster class apart, we had a really good match in Houston with Colombia defeating Paraguay 2-1. And, seeing James Rodriguez step back up on the international scene, getting a brace of assists in this match. Munoz and Lerma getting goals for Colombia. And then the one and only Julio Enciso scoring for Paraguay. It ends up getting kind of close towards the end, but ultimately Colombia is able to see this result out. And Colombia ends up topping Group D after today's results.
Yeah, I thought Colombia had a really good game. Now, I know it ended up being tighter, especially towards the end of the game, Paraguay getting back into it. And if they had a better offense, honestly, maybe they could have tied this game. But I thought Colombia had a really good 60 minutes. They didn't play as good as we've seen them in their two friendlies prior to this Copa, but overall, I just saw good performance after good performance. James Rodriguez showing that he still has incredible delivery with two pinpoint passes. Munoz getting a really good goal as well. I do think they let Paraguay back into the game, but they were up 2-0.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fine. If the game was tighter from the get-go, I think Colombia would have adapted.
Dude, I low-key think they just zoned out.
I think so.
Like when you're like exercising, you just start jogging and you just kind of get lost in your thoughts. It felt like for those 20 minutes with Paraguay were on the ball, like they were just thinking about the fans. Maybe they saw like a fine ass Colombian in the stands. Like, let's be real, because the Colombians are in attendance for that game, bro.
Dude, so far my favorite atmosphere out of the first round of group stage matches, the one in Houston with Colombia, easily my favorite. I think it also had like the most people minus the Argentina sold out match.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere the Colombians always bring is so fire, bro.
Yeah.
So I hope Colombia can make a deep run. USA, Colombia semifinal. Give that to me. Give that to me.
Ooh, that'd be fire. I think I saw someone left a Hall of Fame comment where he said, bury me in a Colombian jersey because I might just come back. And I think that's in reference to James Rodriguez and his performances with the Colombia's jersey. No matter what's happening at the club level, he wears that Colombian jersey.
Crazy,
he revives himself.
That's crazy.
Completely. A new man. Dude, he low-key man of the match today.
Oh, yeah.
Low-key,
For me, man of the match, the ball that he gave to Munoz was pinpoint, man. And we've seen so many crosses be underhit at both tournaments, in Euros especially, man.
Yeah.
But James still showing that even though he can't do it at club level for some weird goddamn reason, he's still perfect when he puts on the national team jersey. So, yeah, for me, man of the match, James Rodriguez once again showing he has, the foot of a god.
Yeah, how would you guys grade this Colombian performance since we're doing grades? Is this an A-? You know, were they those 20 minutes away from having an A-plus performance?
Yeah, sure. But also, I want to give just a little bit of credit to Paraguay here because they approached this game, I think, as best as they could have. If Paraguay weren't on their A game, they would have lost this game 4-0. So I think it was Paraguay who actually did the best that they could to make this game as tight as possible. It's why it ended up being tight. Not so much Colombia. It was really was Paraguay. They were super physical. Every time Colombia got near their third, they put a body on every single Colombian that they could. I liked Paraguay's approach. They played a lot better than I thought they would have.
I agree with that. I thought they were going to get like stuck at that 2-0 deficit, but they fought back. They fought back and they had moments, man. They really did. And it was nice to see my boy Julio Enciso get a goal in this match. I would ask a little bit more from Almiron because I didn't see that man today. I barely saw him today.
Well, from Paraguay's offense in general, the only player that showed up offensively, in my opinion, was Enciso. Mm-hmm. He worked his ass off all game long, and ultimately he ended up being the best player, the most dangerous player for Paraguay. If he had help, man, if he had Almiron give the same sort of vigor and aggressiveness on the other side, Paraguay might have something to give at this tournament. But if it's just going to be Enciso for the rest of the tournament, Paraguay have no chance here.
And no Kaku. Not getting any minutes.
Kaku Romero needs to get on the pitch.
Kaku needs to get on the pitch.
He needs to get on the pitch.
Let's respect Asian ball, man. Kaku Romero, Asian Champions League champion, didn't get any minutes today. We have some super chats here. I love how active the chat is right now because this Colombia talk is something special. 24 games undefeated, folks. 24 games. They continue extending that undefeated streak. It is something else right now for Colombia, man. One of the hottest teams in world football. Leo Flores says, Grandpa passed away a couple days ago. Today's my first day back watching you guys without him. Thank you guys because y'all made us enjoy soccer again. Damn, bro.
I think I remember your comment actually saying that. So I really appreciate you, Leo, and RIP to Grandpa, bro.
RIP. Let's get some RIPs, some prayer hand emoji, some W's in the chat for Leo Flores' grandpa. That's the beautiful thing about football is collaborating with your uncles, with your parents, watching games together, man. It brings a tear to my eye. One of my favorite things is watching the football game with my pops. Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you. Rest in peace. Yeah. Shout out Leo Flores, man. And
shout out.
Here's to more beautiful moments with the game of football as a centerpiece. What else we got? Ghostface Quan saying, time to put all your stock in Enciso. If you haven't already, bro.
Yeah. If you're Paraguayan especially, he's going to be your golden boy for the next decade. So give everything you have to Enciso. Make sure he's always healthy. Give him the best. Make sure he has the best therapist, the best physical therapist on hand. Because Enciso's going to. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Keep him happy.
Enciso's it right now for Paraguay.
Yes, sir. Ghostface Quan, I completely agree. Soccer guy says, Vamos Mexico y Estados Unidos. We going to win. F everybody else. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Bro, hey. We're always talking about we battle so much Mexico and USA. Why can't we team up for once, man?
Well, because Mexico sucks. That's why, man.
Not one time. Not even for the super chat. We can't even collab for the super chat, man. We can't shake hands over that. We can't drink over that. Fuck you, man. Fuck the USA.
Show up in a Nations League final and we can talk, bro.
Let's go, man. Let's go. We both making it to the quarterfinals. Let's see what happens. All right. Greaser from Molina says Marcelo should have been called up by Brazil. I think that's pretty bold, bro.
It'd be kind of fun to have him just on the bench.
For the vibes?
For the vibes.
No.
It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, dude, like that
bring
says
Jurgens
so much
from
about. That just says so much about the fullback position for Brazil. If you're calling up Marcelo at
that's true.
What, 38, 37 years old?
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on, man. But that'd be crazy though, guys. Let's do daily awards. Who gets the goal of the day? Obviously, there's no contender from Brazil versus Costa Rica, so we gotta look at Colombia versus Paraguay. I mean, I think either one of the James' assists would be potential nominees with his set-piece assist to Jefferson Lerma or that first assist to Munoz.
Give me the Munoz goal.
I'll give it to you.
I loved that one. It was such a good finish, too. The pass was perfect. The finish was sublime. I loved it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I'm down for that. It looks like most people agreed to it. It has to be one of the James assists. And Rodrigo Idarraga says, bro, I was at the Colombia game today, and it was crazy. James is him, bro. He is him. Yeah. Dude, the vibes look crazy. The atmosphere look amazing. And it's just crazy how much like James improves his game once he wears that Colombia jersey. I cannot get over that, bro. I just can't. Yeah. He wins the goal of the day. Performance of the day. Is it also James?
Yeah, let's give it to James. The statistical aspect, 2 assists, massive. And again, just the way that he hits the ball, his delivery is perfect. But kind of just a fun side note that I do want to mention. I want to know other people's opinions too. If I'm a European scout, I'm calling every single club that I'm affiliated with, and I'm telling them to get Richard Rios, the defensive midfielder for Colombia, because his last 3 performances for Colombia, it got him the start today. He's been immense. He's so strong on the ball. His positioning, he's so smart. When to bite, when to stay back. He's also deceptively quick. He's a good dribble driver from deep positions, and he's very, very aggressive. He has the physicality to play in any of the top 5 European leagues. He plays for Palmeiras right now, but I thought he has been perfect in the midfield for Colombia in their 2 friendlies, and today he got the start. I thought he was just as good. Give me Richard Rios in Europe over the summer, man, because I'm really loving his play.
Where does he play right now?
Is a midfielder. What do you mean?
Where? Like,
at Palmeiras.
He's at Palmeiras.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I actually don't know that. Let me see. I could find that
Give
out.
me that. Does he have a family? I'm scouting, bro. I want to know if he's a good prospect.
He's a great prospect.
If he matches all my criteria, because he has been balling out.
I'm so impressed.
He has been balling out.
So impressed with his play. He's 24 years old.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I saw someone mention
he's so underrated too because obviously all the plaudits go to James, Santos Borré when he gets a goal, John Arias if he gets an assist. But for me, Richard Rios is the guy making it click in the midfield defensively for Colombia, and he's a baller. He's a beast.
I'm sure Brighton already has their eyes on him.
I hope, man. I hope somebody
sure.
does, because you get him into Europe, he's going to immediately make an impact. He's that good.
Damn, man, that's crazy. There's a golden gem in South America.
There's a
waiting
golden
to be
gem.
Nabbed.
Yeah.
Let's see who gets him. I would love to see that this offseason after this tournament. If he just goes straight to Prem team, La Liga, Serie A, whoever.
I hope.
It seems like the chat agrees. They really like Rios. JC Florida says he's perfect for West Ham, for example. Rios to Villa.
He'd be great there, yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Game of the day. What ends up being the game of the day? I'm interested to know, because I actually found myself to be very entertained by the Brazil-Costa Rica match because of the drama behind Brazil, and seeing Costa Rica, set that low block and do everything they can to withstand this Brazilian attack and actually pull it off. I found that very entertaining personally. It had me screaming, bro. And the Colombia match was also really good too, man.
Yeah.
It was pure vibes. For the first half, it was amazing. Paraguay actually made it competitive in that second half.
It did.
And I appreciated it as well. So what's the game of the day? Because I think we had 2 pretty solid games today.
Low key, I think I'm going to go with the Brazil-Costa Rica game. I agree. Just the longer the game went on, the more I was cheering for Costa Rica, and the fact that they actually pulled it off. I mean, I was basically defending there with them, from my couch, just screaming it every time they could clear the ball. It ended up being a really fun defensive match, and to see Brazil fail, low-key kind of fun. Low-key, man, like Neymar in the stands, SoFi Stadium. I love the drama, man. I love the drama that this Brazil team brings. So I agree with you. But I don't mind people who say Colombia, like how I'm seeing the chat, because the vibes, man, it was classic Colombia 2014 World Cup vibes. People were dancing, people were celebrating. It was loud, and I really like what Colombia brings to a major tournament, man. I really do. Let's do match previews. Let's preview tomorrow's matches. Predict who's going to win, lose, or draw. The first match we have of round 2 in Copa America is Peru facing off against Canada. Canada losing 2-0 to Argentina in the first match of this tournament. And Peru coming off of a game where there were 37 fouls against Chile that ended up 0-0. Who's getting the dub here? Who needs the dub more? What's going to happen in this match, Soltero? I'm hoping Canada get the win. I thought they were very brave. They played some really good attacking football. When they did get on the ball against Argentina, they'll definitely get more of the ball against Peru. But hey, Peru showed that they can be very defensive, kind of like Costa Rica, and very physical in that game against Chile. So I don't think it'll be easy, but I do think Canada can get the dub.
Yeah, looking at how they performed now after the first couple of games, I think Canada is looking like the favorite to win this game. I did predict Canada would get last place, though, so I'm going to be rooting for Peru to have a South American victory here and showcase their grit over this Canadian side. So I'm praying on the Canadian downfall, but if I'm betting money, I would go Canada on this one.
And
I would.
The thing is, since Chile didn't beat Peru, they screwed up if Canada win, because Canada will only need a draw against Chile in the last game. So Chile are hoping Peru tie them.
Wow.
Hoping.
Wow. Canada at 71% in the poll, Peru at 20%. draw at 9%. A Peruvian downfall. I'm also here for that too. Guys, thumbs up on the stream. One last game to preview. We have Chile versus Argentina at 8 p.m. Central Time. This should be a banger. It should. If Chile can show up and fight back against this Argentine side, we might have a game, bro. Yeah. We might.
I just hope Chile scored. That's it. If they end up losing 3-1, I don't care. I just hope they get a goal maybe in the first half, make the Argentines sweat a little bit, but there's just no way Argentina's losing this game. There's just no way, man.
Let me see where they're playing.
Just too good. And Chile showed signs of playing good fluid football against Peru, but they looked a little sloppy. They're going to have to fix that slop if they want to have a chance against Argentina. I just don't think it's going to happen because, Argentina are the best team in the world.
I'm seeing some optimism in the chat, man. Christopher Molina says Chile. I'm seeing Rodrigo say 2-2. Honestly, I say Chile, says Javier. And then there's guys saying Argentina 3-0.
The people smoking, man. God damn.
It's at MetLife Stadium tomorrow, so we'll get to see just a preview of what that World Cup venue will look like. But I have Argentina winning this game 10 times out of 10. No disrespect to my Chileans. I hope to visit your country one day. But I think Chile is capable of at least making this game fun.
I think so.
Tight. That's all. Hoodie Jalen says, this ain't 2015, y'all. I agree, bro. I agree. Bring some sense to the chat, man.
Just a little bit of sense, please.
Bro. We not in 2015 no more. Those are the games for tomorrow. Let's finish up with a few more super chats that we had from folks of the Give and Go. What are you guys saying? What are your takes on today's games? Michael Vogt says, yes, Soltero, Rios' dominance is here. So underrated.
I'm telling y'all, man, once he makes the move to Europe, he's going to be a fan favorite. Fan favorite.
I'm here. I'm here for the Rios hype, man. I really am. Guys, it's been an incredible stream. It was so fun talking smack about Brazil, hyping up this Costa Rican side, dancing with the Colombians, and then also talking about this Paraguayan side. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow to do the same exact thing for both the Euros and Copa America. So on your way out, thumbs up this stream and help us get closer to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're only 2,000 subs away. We're going to have a celebration stream the day and moment that we reach that milestone. And so please support the Give and Go and enjoy these games because, folks, we are in the best part of the summer right now with both tournaments just delivering on all aspects, and it's going amazing, guys. We'll see you guys soon for more coverage over the Euros and Copa America. Peace.